Well, tonight we're learning more about the woman accused of pushing an elderly man off of a bus back in March. That man died from his injuries in April. 25-year-old Kadisha Bishop now faces an open murder charge. 8 News Now reporter Sasha Loftus spoke with one of Bishop's neighbors about the moment she was taken into custody.
8 News Now has learned that Bishop was previously convicted of domestic violence twice, once in 2013 and once in 2012. Now fast forward to now, an assault that ends in death. Kia Lee remembers the day that Bishop was taken into custody back on May 6th.
I was shocked.
It caused a lot of commotion in Lee's normally quiet complex.
I hear someone screaming, saying, you can't be in here, you don't have a search warrant.
As Bishop was arrested, accused of murder.
Really crazy, and these are pretty quiet apartments.
According to the arrest warrant for Kadisha Bishop, she's accused of pushing 74-year-old Serge Fournier out of this RTC bus in downtown Las Vegas back in March. Fournier died from his injuries a month later. The coroner ruled his death a homicide.
I cried. Just to see, and then to see not anybody helping on the video and him just laying there all alone.
Lee didn't know Bishop personally, but seeing this happen so close to home has her shaken up.
You just gotta watch out, especially when you have kids outside playing and things like that. It just makes you be more aware.
And as she works to keep her own family safe, she says she's praying for those grieving.
It's always sad when someone passes away, but to have them pass away in such a horrible manner is heartbreaking.
After such a senseless tragedy. Now, we've also learned that Bishop is no longer in jail, but on house arrest here at this apartment complex behind me. She is set to face a judge next Thursday on an open murder charge. Reporting in the Southwest Valley, Sasha Loftus, 8 News Now.
Well, Metro Police are also hoping to speak with witnesses who were on the bus when this happened. If you saw anything on March 21st at the intersection of Fremont and 13th Street, call Metro or Crime Stoppers to stay anonymous. That number again, 7.
The woman accused of pushing an elderly man off a bus to his death will remain on house arrest. Thank you for joining us. I'm John Langler.
And I'm Bianca Holman. A judge has just denied the state's motion to revoke bail for 25-year-old Kadisha Bishop. 8 News Now reporter Orko Manna was inside that hearing. He joins us live from outside the Regional Justice Center with what happened in the courtroom. Orko?
Well, Bianca and John, the state has said time and time again they do not believe Kadisha Bishop should be on house arrest. Instead, they want her behind bars while the legal process plays out. Now, as we have previously reported, there's been controversy surrounding the decision to grant Bishop bail. That was set at $100,000 with high-level electronic monitoring, also known as house arrest. The state argued today, as they have been, that surveillance video of the incident clearly shows Bishop intentionally trying to kill 74-year-old Serge Fournier by pushing him out of an RTC bus after the two got into a verbal argument. The prosecution also pointed to Bishop's criminal history, which includes battery. But Bishop's defense team said there isn't enough evidence to specifically prove that the push caused Fournier's injuries, which police say led to his death. They also said Bishop has been compliant with the terms of her house arrest. In the end, Judge Douglas Herndon sided with the defense.
I'm not in any way trying to say Mitch Bishop's conduct is somehow excusable, but whether she's convicted, what a jury thinks about her intent, those aren't things for right now. The concerns right now are the likelihood to reappear and public safety standpoints.
Kadisha Bishop waived her right to speak in court today. Other big news in this case, a trial date has officially been set that's scheduled to start early next May. Meanwhile, Kadisha Bishop's next court appearance for a status check is scheduled for August. Reporting live outside the Regional Justice Center, Orko Manna, 8 News Now.
He's dead.
He'll be in the parking lot right here by Foot Locker outside. Right here is the red. He got hit by the car.
Fucking selfish. Every day of your fucking life.
Oh my God.
Every day.
She hit him with a car. This shit is crazy. This
shit is crazy. Oh! He's dead, and
Fuck him! Fuck him! That's what happens when you leave your wife in a fucking phrase, you bitch! I gave you 18 years of my fucking life! I'm never gonna do this. I'm outside.
And just into the newsroom, police have arrested a woman in connection to that scene at the JNF Shopping Center yesterday. Officers have charged 34-year-old Bashira Tripp with aggravated assault. People at the scene watched as Tripp reportedly ran over a man and then threw the car's fender on him. That man is in the hospital still in critical condition, and we'll have much more on this story coming up this evening starting at 4 o'clock.
Giving all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to the nation of Yahshua, all the hopeful elect. And it's your brother come back to you with another sit down. And I just wanted to touch on a pervasive topic in the world today that doesn't get much speaking time, doesn't get much notoriety in mainstream media and mainstream news, and that being toxic femininity, right? Toxic femininity. Toxic femininity is simply the woman being removed from her man, right? Her role being stripped from her, and she being given the veneer of independence and roles of leadership, whether that be roles of leadership in the household. She's running the household by herself, or she has a simp man that doesn't have any say, whether that be roles of leadership at the job, right? Corporate America, or even in the political landscape. Okay. So the modern liberal woman is out of control and is headed for mass trauma. Okay. Mass trauma. But that's actually a good thing, because the trauma is necessary. Okay. And for the elect, or Sirach 26 and 16. And it reads, as the sun, when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. Okay. So the woman that is functional she is essential to your mood, your disposition, and your mindset as the rising sun, right? The sun, when it comes out, you feel good inside, right? You feel happy. The sun rays are hitting you, right? The vitamin D is getting into your melanin, right? You feel really good. Okay. So the woman is needed, right? The woman is needed. The woman is essential, right? When she's in her right damn mind. Okay. But again, the modern liberal woman is out of control. This is a picture, obviously, of Bashira Tripp, who, ran over her husband. Okay. And good night, man. She runs over her husband, right? And Bashira Tripp, you saw in the news clip I played here, she gets aggravated assault, a charge of aggravated assault. Now, aggravated assault can carry anywhere from 2 years to life in prison, depending on the severity. But so hypothetically speaking, she could do a couple of years and come home for that attack. All right. From what I understand, what I've read, the brother is still alive, but he's in critical condition. But you best believe, so-called black man, that had that been, the roles been in reverse and that been you, your black ass will be having that attempted murder charge on you, along with felonious assault with the intent to do great bodily harm. That charge would have been on you too. All right. Toxic femininity is allowed in this queendom, right? In Babylon. Okay. It's encouraged here. So there's no accountability for the so-called black woman. When they do stuff like this, they don't get any real punishment for their crimes. Look at the first one I showed, the first lady I showed. I'm not going to call her sister, but the first woman that I showed, Kadisha Bishop, right? Push that old man off the bus, man, 70-something years old, and makes him fall to his death, okay? And what's she doing? She was on house arrest. On house arrest. She'd already had a charge of domestic violence, right, and was convicted of battery. But yet, they gave her house arrest for an open murder, Kadisha Bishop. Okay? Toxic femininity is encouraged. You brothers can't do the same things. You do something like that, man, no, you're not getting house arrest. Your ass is in that damn county jail until that trial unfolds. Or you better believe that. Okay? So it's just crazy how these women are today in this society, but it's encouraged. Okay? We're just going to keep on talking about how the woman is supposed to be. Let's go to the next scripture. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 36 and 25. We're going to stay in Ecclesiasticus. The book of Salaki. Ecclesiasticus 36 and 25. All right, and it reads, where no hedges, there the possession is spoiled, and he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. Okay, so a good woman in her right mind is essential to the function of man, right? She's a gift to the man from the Most High himself. The Most High saw the need of man back in the garden with Adam, and he granted it to us. Okay, so that woman, Bashira Tripp, pictured right here, she's screaming and hollering after she ran her husband over and said, I gave you 18 years. I gave you 18 years. Clapping her hands, making a scene, mowed that man over her vehicle. I gave you 18 years. I gave you 18 years. This is what happened when you leave your wife, so on and so forth. Yo, I don't want to see any of our people break up as couples and so on and so forth, but let's not get it twisted. The woman belongs to the man, not the other way around, right? She was talking to that man in his state, his unconscious state, as she mowed him over, blood on the ground, as if he was her possession, because the roles are reversed here in Babylon, right? But the woman belongs to the man, right? The man was created first. You were given as a gift to him, okay? And let's be honest, the woman is meant for servitude to her husband, okay? The etymology of the word wife goes back to meaning servant, okay? That's the, and of course, hey, you love your woman, you love your wife, you take care of her, you die for her if necessary. But, she takes on your name because she belongs to you. The father hands her over to you because she's your possession now, so-called black man, right? But the roles reverse here in this society. They got it twisted, right? But let's take a look at how some good women and good wives are supposed to be in behavior with their male counterparts. Let's take a look at Luke, the book of Luke, chapter 8. Go take it to the New Testament here. Luke chapter 8. And we're going to start off with verse 1. Luke chapter 8. And I'll start with verse 1. And we'll stop at 3. All right. Oh. Here we go. All right. Luke chapter 8. Verse 1 through 3. And it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village, preaching and showing the glad tidings of the kingdom of the Most High. And the 12 were with him, and certain women which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils, and Joanna, the wife of Chuza, Herod's servant, and Susanna, and many others which ministered unto him of their substance. So these women right here, Mary Magdalene, Joanna, the wife of Chuza, Herod's steward, and Susanna, they're with Yahushua and they're in the 12, and they're ministering to him out of their substance. They're helping the work, right? They're being helpmeets, right? That's how our women are supposed to behave. That's the purpose of the woman, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing for you sisters that are listening to this, okay? Helping a man along with his dream, with his endeavor, okay? Helping him with the work, right? Okay? He's supposed to be ordered. That man's righteous, and he's bringing order into the house to the best of his ability, to what the Most High has given him to understand. And you're supposed to be helping him out and assisting him, right? That's your role. That's your purpose. Okay? But let's talk about how the women really are today. You know? And hey, the Bible speaks about it in clear fashion, right? Let's take a look at Ecclesiastes 7:26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Right? So, perfect depiction of today's feminist woman. Men have to avoid this type of woman at all cost. At all cost. Right? And women must avoid this type of mindset at all costs. All right? Very dangerous, very detrimental to your household and to your own being. Because if you're not here to serve your purpose, then what need does the Most High have for you? Right? Let's go back to Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 26:24 through 26. And it reads, a dishonest woman contendeth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. Right? So many of our women are shameless, and according to scriptures, they're equated to dogs. Okay? And let's check it out. The fate of dogs, that's recorded in scripture as well. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to Revelation 22:14 through 15. The book of Revelations, chapter 22, 14 through 15. And it reads, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, right? And sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and adulterers, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Okay? So, hey, the dogs are outside of the set apart city. Right? Now, the toxically feminine woman is going to share the same fate as the dogs. Right? So she has taken on the persona of the heathen-like dog nations. When it says dogs there, it's talking about the other nations. But the toxically feminine woman, our women, they've taken on the persona of these heathens. They act just like them, worse than them, as a matter of fact. Right? So she's going to share in their fate. Right? That's what's coming for her. Okay? Let's go to Sirach 25:17. Sirach 25:17. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. This woman picture right here, Bashira Tripp, she doesn't look, young and youthful. They said she's 34 years old. Her face, her whole countenance has changed. I mean, she looked like she's been through the ringer. Right? And that she would cause you hell on earth if you got with her. Right? Lips black from smoking weed. This chick looks bugged out of her mind. Okay? But that's the wickedness that's in her. It actually changes her countenance, right? All these women that are like in their 20s and early 30s looking like they're in their 40s, man. Big, fat, blew out bellies, right? No type of shape or form. Cottage cheese thighs, all right? Saggy ass tits. They can play hacky sack with their tits, okay? The countenance, everything is just changed about them. That's that wickedness that's in them, man. You know? We gotta be mindful of that, right? Gotta be mindful of that. Let's go to Sirach again, 26. Sirach 26, 22 through 23. Sirach 26, 22 through 23. An harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. Hey, you know, a lot of our brothers are involved with toxically feminine harlots, but guess what? They deserve that type of woman because they themselves are wicked as hell. Okay, so you get what you deserve. You get exactly what you deserve. All right? Because you're wicked as hell, or you tolerate that wickedness, and that makes you a simp and that makes you weak. So either way, you deserve it. All right? Let's talk about the remedy for the toxic woman. The remedy for the toxic woman. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2, 18 through 24. The book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 18 through 24. All right, we talk about the remedy for the toxic woman. All right, Genesis chapter 2, 18 through 24. All right. And the Almighty Power said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him." And out of the ground the Most High formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all the cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him. And the Most High Power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Most High had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man." Right? Therefore shall be fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all the cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him. And the Most High Power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Most High had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man." Right? Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Right? So what had to happen here? What happened here? The man has work to do. The man has work to do. Adam was not given his woman until he did the work of the Most High. Right? So brothers have to focus on the spiritual matters. Okay. This word, right? Your relationship, your walk with the Most High. Right? You also have to focus on being self-sufficient, having your own home, okay? Your own apartment or your own house, right? Steady income, okay? Then worry about a woman, all right? After you have those things in place, you got work to do, spiritually and physically. Then you worry about the woman, okay? This is old saying, you never lose a woman chasing money. I used to hear a lot of old heads say that. You know, so in this case, you never lose a woman by, chasing the Most High, chasing the spiritual matters and being self-sufficient and getting your money together as well, right? And not worrying about her. There's plenty of women to go about there, right? To go around. All right. So you put the woman in her place. When you put yourself in your place, you put the woman in her place. When you put yourself in your place, you got your own place, you got your own home, you got to worry about being kicked out or her calling the cops and having them remove you out the home at 3:00 in the morning after an argument. When you got your own, okay? You shouldn't be serious with no woman out there until you have those things together, all right? Until you are sound with the Most High, right? With the spiritual matters, right? You know this word, you can edify your woman, you have something to give her, right? Spiritually and mentally, right? And you're self-sufficient, okay? You're not leaning dependent on her, okay? Right? Remedy for the toxic woman, toxically feminine woman, okay? Let's go to the book of Sirach again, 25 and 16. Sirach 25 and 16. If you brothers haven't paid attention, you haven't noticed that we've been in the Ecclesiastes, for the better part of this sit down. And there's a lot of wisdom in there. I suggest that you read these books constantly. Sirach, Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiastes. Get that into your soul, into your being. Okay. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 25 and 16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. Okay. All right. So remedy for the toxic woman, do not accept the behavior of the toxically feminine woman. All right. And again, when you have your own, you can call the shots. Okay. So instead of her calling John Law to come remove you from the house 2:30 in the morning, hey, you got your own place. That mortgage is in your name. That apartment is in your name. Hey, you can tell her, hey, you got to end of the week to pack your stuff and go. Whatever it takes. Okay. When you have your own and that woman is living with you as opposed to the other way around, you're less likely to deal with toxic traits from her. Okay. We're just going to get a couple more scriptures and we out of here, man. Let's go to Isaiah 3. Isaiah 3. We're going to start with Isaiah 3. And Isaiah 3, 16 through 26. All right. Moreover, the Most High saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, the Most High will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Almighty will discover their secret parts. In that day, the Almighty will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings, the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there should be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well-set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Let's go to the next chapter, Isaiah 4 and 1, because it all comes together. Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So there's going to be a series of mass traumatic events, right, that will cause the woman to suffer great psychological trauma, right? This is serious. Great psychological trauma, i.e. civil war, famine, rape, murder, no protection, no government assistance, okay, etc. Right? This trauma will break the spell of toxic femininity and the independent woman attitude. Right? This will cause the so-called black woman to seek a righteous man of wisdom to be her stability in those times. Right? So you men got to be ready. That's why I said earlier, you got to study his word. You guys focus on the spiritual matters first, because they're going to be coming. They're going to be looking for answers, and you have to supply those answers. Right? And like Isaiah 4:1, hey, man, the death of the simps, thugs, the terrors of our community, i.e. the 2/3, right, and the fall of this society, that will cause our women to seek a man of the Most High. Until then, let the Most High do his work. All right. So when you hear about, Shaquanda getting popped in Chicago, sitting in the car, smoking a blunt with her friends, some random hit. Hey, man, listen. Hey, Most High's doing his work. He's getting rid of a lot of these toxic ass women, man. He's getting rid of a lot of these toxic ass, silly ass mama boys and simps. Right? And these coons. Who are the coons? The thugs of our community, the ones that terrorize our community. Right? Sell dope in their own neighborhood, shoot their brothers. Those are the real coons. Right? And the Most High's getting rid of them. Right? It's going to turn up. When the troops start coming in, when the food shortages are here, when there's no more food trucks coming in, the EBT card doesn't work. Okay? When the babies are starving, when they're kicking in doors for in the search of bread, in the search of food, in the search of supplies, and that single independent woman with that badass house because white daddy done took care of her and gave her the best jobs, right? So she can afford it all. She don't need no man, right? They kick in that door to take all of her supplies and run a train on her. Okay. That's going to start breaking that spell. It's going to take that much trauma. All right. So you brothers be patient. You do your first work first. Right. And hey, everything's going to be all right in a little while. Okay. And with that, I hope this sit down has been edifying. May the Most High bless. Shalom.